Okay, I'll send you the.
Good morning.
Yeah.
All right. Good, good.
So Dylan last night. Diego, yeah, because we went to the volleyball. I said to Diego, Diego, I'll tell Bianca this is because I was high. He was kind of like embarrassed.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, welcome.
Loud and proud morning. Yeah, I was like 4 rows up and he was.
All right, we're gonna get started about 2 minutes, about 2 minutes. Hey, all right.
If you tell me what door you like, I'll let you know.
I go to the doctor.
That little kit, and I don't know what it does. I don't know what it does. It takes your DNA and hides it. It's like what you're allergic to. Yeah, right?
Which might be good.
Then you can't.
Maybe I have used it here. But you don't need to look. Sorry.
Yeah.
Today was very. Morning.
What's up, Wallace? Good morning. How are you? Happy Wednesday.
I was going into.
All right.
I already signed it. That's the one day I'm gonna forget. The one we already signed in, the time we because I worked this summer, so that's why I signed in. But you only. It wasn't OCPS documentation, but it was site-based.
Hey, good morning.
They'll tell me.
Do we need one more minute or are we ready? I think we're ready. Oh, she's coming. Hey, good morning.
Ready.
Oh, that's right, Lord.
All right, well, we'll get started. We don't have a heavy agenda today, so this should be relatively quick. All right, so good morning. So I am going to motion that we call this awesome committee meeting to order. Can I get a second?
Second.
Perfect. All right, so let's move forward. Let's get this party started. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Oh yeah, I love the energy. Good morning. All right, so we have a lot of exciting things going on. Hey, good morning. Me and super thankful that we have everybody here. I know that we're asking a lot of you guys, especially in the month of March. We're trying to do 2 meetings. We're trying to do 2 meetings in the month of March, and so because there is a compliance factor, we talked about it when we do a meeting per month. All right, so listen, you'll know something different since the last time we were here is that the mask order is completely voluntary, and that's something we want to do. So obviously that's a little bit of change since the last time we've seen each other. All right, so here we go. I'm going to jump right into the principal up, or we're going to run through the agenda really quick, and then hey, I'm stumbling over my words. Oh, great, cool. All right, so listen, I forgot to do this last month. Well, the approval of the minutes. So our awesome committee secretary, Ms. Zupa, if you could read the minutes from the last meeting, we'll and then we can vote on that to approve minutes.
Sounds good. All right, so last meeting, we all gathered here at 7:47 in the morning. We heard some great proposals. Since that proposal day, everyone was approved. ESC was approved for half of their grant. So everything has been ordered with the exception of one. We are trying to work on logistics for the one, but everything has been ordered, everything has arrived. ESC is coming in bits and pieces, but they're getting their stuff as well. And I think today we have a presentation of one of our grant awardees. So we're excited about that. Testing dates were announced and they are still the same. So they're up on our, they'll be up on our website too shortly if we don't have that up there already. staffing updates. Ms. Locke has officially retired. We have a new ESC teacher, Jessica Perez, and we still have some vacancies. And other than that, tutoring has ended for the first session. We'll begin back up when we get back to spring break. And PTA is off.
Yay!
That's our notes for us.
All right, thank you. So, great job, Zeus. Hey, good morning. So let's do this. I'm gonna stop, making all the motions. So what we do after, our secretary, after Zuko reads the minutes, then what we do is we motion to approve the minutes, and then we get a second, and then we vote really quick, and then we move on. So someone, I'd love to hear someone motion to approve minutes. Yes, Ms. Ricky.
I motion to approve the minutes.
All right, and then we need a second. Perfect, great. So all in favor of the approving the minutes from the previous meeting? Awesome, perfect. It looks like the majority. Great job, Kazar. All
I'm
right.
not on the committee.
You're not, you're not.
So I'm
No, but I love-
I'm not allowed to vote.
I love your energy. Here we go. All right, so, quick principal update. Actually, I'm sorry, can you go back one? Man, I'm a mess this morning. I went to Kennedy Space Center yesterday on my son's 5th grade field trip, and it was wild. It was awesome. It was awesome. We're gonna go to the principal updates, SAC grant updates, and proposals, which I know we don't have any. Community involvement, school-wide events, PTA update, and what's coming up, and then we're gonna get out of here, okay? It should be relatively quick, like I said. All right, so I just have a couple quick points. It looks way more than it really is. Annual stakeholder survey. Please tell me, I'm interested, this will be our sample size here. Do you receive the messages via Class Dojo? Is everybody on Class Dojo? If you're not, and you want to be, see me after the meeting. We're going to make sure we get you queued up. You should be tied. I should be able to send you messages based on your partnership with your classroom teacher, right? So like if your child's classroom teacher is Ms. Kazar, she uses Class Dojo, she's added to you, then I send messages. If you're not getting those and you want them, see me, okay? And that goes for anybody who's joining us virtually too. So then the other piece is, and I've made a note here, is so there's 3 components, right? So there's the staff component, which we need feedback from the staff. There's feedback from the students. So we would need 60% of our staff to give input, 40% of our students to give input, and then 20% of our family. And I don't say community, I say families, right? So understanding that not all our kids live with their parents, right? Maybe they live with grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, stuff like that. So it's family, right? So we need at least 20%. We've met our staff goal of, I mean, we're at like 80% staff, and we're at like 75% student input. So we met those goals. Where our goal now is we need at least 20% of the families. We're at 15.1% as of this morning. We need to reach that mark by April 1st. So every time I send this out via Dojo, and I send it out in the SMS, like little text messages too with a link, you can do it from your phone. I mean, it literally takes like maybe 5 minutes. I'm going to send it again today. Dojo, I'm going to send it via text, and then I'm also going to send it out via email. All right? Fill it out for me if you could, right? And we're just trying to hit, if we could do this before spring break, it'd be awesome. Get that extra 5%. And yeah, I mean, it could be you and your wife or, whoever. Okay? All right. So if you could help me out, I really appreciate that. All right, moving on. Oh, stay active during spring break. So we're going to have an iReady challenge rolled out for spring break like we normally do, and then we'll have some incentives built in for kids. And then make sure that you're taking care of your device. Kids are going to be bringing their devices home. All right. If you don't want, your child, your student to bring their device home because you have one, and that's just something you don't want to worry about, that's fine too. But a couple things. When we come back on March 21st, I was going to say second, March 21st, make sure that device is charged and ready to go. All right, I'll be sending home a quick reminder about that to parents too, and asking teachers to push that out. Make sure that when it comes back, it's charged and ready to go. And then if you're traveling with it, like if you're traveling to, Iowa, or I don't know why Iowa came to my head, but if you're traveling out of state or out of country, make sure you don't leave it there. Make sure it comes back with you in the same form. Listen, we laugh, we chuckle, but it happens every year. Kids go, to our family vacation and it ends up in California or something like that. They're scrambling to try to coordinate with hotels about where it's at. So stay active. All right, so then we're going to kind of readjust our focus then to student behaviors. I've been telling, I'm in fifth grade lunch duty every day, and been talking to the fifth graders just about like, this is the time of year, and this goes for all our students. I just happen to see the fifth graders more than anything. This is the time of year in like whatever school I've ever worked at, like this is the time of year when kids tend to lose focus, right? And they tend to, if bad decisions are to be made, this is when they make this, like the simple bad decision. They can't keep their hands to themselves. They say something that's inappropriate. Just kind of like we start to get a little bit of spring fever. Our fifth graders start to get that kind of senioritis. They're ready to go to middle school. And listen, it happens at every school, not just in our school. But it's important that we help them maintain focus, right? Remind them that we still have a job to do. So for our third, fourth, and fifth graders especially, we get back from spring break and we have 2.5 weeks, and then it is like hammer time, right? So we're back to, we're into state testing. April 5th and 6th is our. Yeah, so we have third grade writing right away, third grade reading, third grade reading, and then fourth and fifth grade writing are right away at the first week of April, all right? Because they take the longest to grade, okay? So, most importantly, let's make sure that we're taking care of the student behaviors, right? Like we're maintaining focus, reminding them that if they have questions, they ask an adult. If they have concerns, like if they're having a student conflict, this is a big one. Miss Blair is in classes every day doing teacher class lessons, pulling small groups, right? Reminding kids, right? Like our push this year has been self-advocacy, right? And what that means is that if something's bothering you, that you speak out about it, right? If a kid's giving you a hard time, that you use your words to explain, all right? And what we really focused on is, like, I love it when students have strong relationships with their parents. Like, that's the expectation. And it's the parents' job to advocate for their child. It is, and we know that, right? But our goal is to have that partnership with the child. So if there is an issue, Derek Wallace, great kid, right? Like if he's having an issue with a student in his class, that he talks to his teacher, right? And that they have that, and then they bring it to me, and then together we call mom, we call dad, right? That should be the track in which we follow. That's our goal. All right. All right, here we go. School to home communication. So once again, Class Dojo, we started that at the start of the school year. Like that's our primary mode of communication. We send out, PTA sends out information via Class Dojo. I send out information via Class Dojo. And then some of my leadership team members and the special area teachers send stuff out too. They send like the global messages, right? So whether it be testing reminders or field day or, when there's events via the district, things like that. Or like Tori's did a good job communicating with us about the concerts, Coach Branch with field day, things like that, okay? So if you don't have it, I think it probably can get a little annoying at times, but I would really encourage you to use it to get it if you don't have it. And if you need help setting it up, I can help you. I'm probably not the expert, we can figure it out. And then the text reminders, if you're not getting the text reminders that I send out, I get a bunch kicked back to me. Then people block me, it's okay. I didn't take it personal. But they're really quick. And you know what? It limits me to like 160 characters, so they're really short, really short. So, and then the school messenger phone calls, those are messages that I try to reserve for like super important things. So you'll see me use those the least, right? I'll send one out before spring break, just reminding parents when we come back. But really want to use those in like emergency situations, right? So you know that if you're getting a phone call that has my voice in something serious. Okay? Anybody have any questions about any of this school before we wrap up and move on? All right, great job. All right, thank you. Okay, here we go. Quick staffing report. We still have a third grade vacancy. It's been posted 75 times. We've had 0 applicants. That seems to be par for the course within the district right now. We do have an ESC severely handicapped para. And then we have a school clerk, Miss Valentine, our newly hired school clerk for like the last 2 months. Will be moving on. And then our school health assistant, our amazing school health assistant, Nick Conoco, is moving to California to pursue the dream, a different dream, but a pretty cool dream. I don't know. It's Nick's got an awesome plan. It's pretty cool. So we'll be sad to lose Nick. All right. Okay. Here we go. Moving on. All right. SAC grants.
Just in regards to SAC grants, there were 0 proposals submitted by midnight last Wednesday. But from our last SAC meeting, the items have been ordered for most of the staff that submitted grant proposals, like Ms. Zuga had mentioned earlier. They're still finalizing the exact items that ESC needs for their grant, so they will be getting their items soon. But Coach Brands has received his basketballs that he requested with the money that we voted on last week, and he is here today to present on behalf of that.
Okay, so as you just heard, we got $150 for our PE department. I strongly felt that we needed that for basketballs. You've seen our basketballs before; they weren't that great. I would love to use them, but I know students need something a little better than that. So that's what we went and did. So we got 30 new basketballs from Five Below. So that's just explaining right there where we got our items from. So we wanted to put basketballs in the hands of every student at the same time. There's no more wait time. Every student, if you came out to our 5th grade group, we had 50 plus students, and each and every single one of them had basketball. We only had like 7 basketballs left, which is perfect because just in case one of the basketballs pops or anything like that, we had some extra as well. These are some of the standards. These are cute little kindergartners doing one of the standards, as you can see at the top. It's very, very simple for most of them. All they have to do is just be able to dribble with 2 hands and pop up the ball and catch it as well. We've already worked on catching and throwing, so they were very used to that. So I kind of kicked it into 2nd year with most students and did some other standards as well. As you can see, the PE1 right here, that's for 1st grade. So I had kindergartners doing 1st grade and 2nd grade standards. We can move on to the next one. This is our 5th grade group. 3rd grade, they need to be able to defend while dribbling. So these basketballs were perfect. They had perfect grip, to where the students had more chances not to lose a basketball. So I'm going to show you
All right, thank you, Coach. This is our first successful cycle the SAC grant proposal. That's really cool. Thank you. I got a chance to see Coach Rance out there on Monday for his formal. Did a great job. So, all right, what else we got, Torres?
Community involvement in school-wide events. Student Council did host their youth book sale in room 105 the last 2 weeks, and they were able to raise money for their project to bring to life the butterfly garden again, which is outside to the left of the pavilion that's normally just infested with bees. They're trying to clean it up and really beautify our school. Ooh, that's awesome.
Can I add a thing something really quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was a really cool event. The student council got together and presented it to me. They had a very formal presentation led by our awesome student council president, Denise Kazar. And they did a great job. And they explained that they had a dollar amount that they were looking to raise in order to revitalize the butterfly garden out here by the bus loop. Well, then Ms. Waldeck had initiated a relationship with a parent that apparently is an expert in butterfly garden and does this I don't know, professionally or as a pretty serious hobby. And this guy, man, was super impressive. Her and I met with him, and he's prepared to donate a bunch of compost and plant material. So their initial goal is to raise but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like they're going to need $1,000, which is good because they raised like what, $300 or $400. So they'll be able to use that money to buy additional plant material. They're really excited.
We currently have our faculty and staff participating in the Biggest Loser Challenge, because it's all about healthy school. And it's also led by Coach France, who's still continuing to do after school on Thursdays, workouts with the staff, just to kind of complete the Healthy School Challenge, it's a new year, new me, getting everybody fit and active, especially as we move forward into testing season. Earlier this year, Endeavor hosted our author, James Tierney, who is the author of the Legend of Zern series, which our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders did not meet with him virtually. They met him face-to-face here in the Media Center, thanks to Ms. Quadrado and Ms. Weeks, who were able to put that together to give our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders an experience to have a one-on-one chat with a real author, which we do have many students who are interested in writing, so that was a great opportunity for them on February 11th. We also, in February, had Lockheed Martin come out and had an engineering day with our 5th graders, which was really great for them because it was like a field day-esque kind of deal where they were outside doing different activities that aligned with the science standards. And we do have a lot of students very interested in science, and it was a great opportunity for them to put all of what they're learning into action, especially as they prepare for their science test in May. But it was more hands-on and a fun way to learn, which those students definitely enjoyed. Our dramatic ed program hosted a Black History Month production entitled I Have a Dream, which took place on February 24th. Sorry about the typo over there. It's a few typos, I'm sorry. But they did a fantastic job. They do not force students on stage. They kind of open it up to all of the students that are a part of dramatic ed to find those students who are seeking that opportunity to get up on stage and perform. And we realized we do have quite a few performers here at Endeavor as they went up on stage and did a phenomenal job. So thank you to Mr. Shamari and Dramatic Ed for putting on that production to showcase Black History Month for all of us. And then something very exciting, our 5th grade speech contest took place, formerly known as the oration contest, where we had 14 5th graders. Rewind. The 5th grade team worked together with the students. They all came up with different essays, and from the classroom, they had 14 finalists who performed, 4 judges on stage, and then we did have them scored in place with Ms. Perez's class, Jay Barasada, taking home 3rd place, Miss Ricky's class, Zoe Martinez, taking 2nd place, and our 1st place winner, who blew everybody away with his passion about Steve Irwin influencing in his life, Ryan Murphy. Those 5th graders did a phenomenal job, and a lot of them had those speeches memorized. They were up on stage, projecting their voices not only to the judges, but to an audience of their peers, which is a phenomenal experience for them, especially moving forward into middle school, where they're going to have to advocate a little bit more for themselves. So they were able to start that now. And we do have some pictures of the different events. Our 14 finalists. There we have 4th grade. Yes, 4th grade with our author, James Tierney. Some of the dramatic ed photographs, and of course our top 3 winners of the speech contest.
Yeah, super impressive. The oration contest was amazing. Ms. Ricky spearheaded that. Thank you. And our kids just did a phenomenal job. It was super impressive to hear them speak with passion about things that they're super interested in. So it was really cool.
Are those recorded somewhere?
No, we didn't record them.
I was just curious.
Ryan went into his Australian accent and really channeled
Steve
Irwin.
Irwin.
That kind of sealed it.
First on.
He also tossed up the book sale with 1st graders every morning in the hallway.
Yeah.
The money's going, how important it is, bring your cash. It would come a little back to cash, so.
Yeah.
Definitely in Australia. He did.
But the kids truly have done a phenomenal job here in the 3rd 9 weeks with all the different involvement, projects, and activities they've been doing, all while learning in the classroom with rigorous standards-based instruction every day. knowing that, the testing season is kind of, approaching, but the kids are still very excited, pushing forward, and I know they are looking very forward to having Friday off because there is no school on Friday before leading into spring break. PTA update.
Yay.
Yeah, so we had Burger Fry Spirit Night, which was a huge success with a lot of parents and a lot of staff and teachers from out, so that was awesome. Coming up, we have the Daughter Dance on April 1st. We do need some volunteers ahead of time, well, mainly the day of, to kind of help decorate, set everything up, if anybody's willing to help out. And we also have love lines going on right now, so you can purchase for $5 a little message to your student to put in the yearbook saying, congratulations, we love you, love mom and dad, that kind of thing. You can find all that on Dojo, Facebook, and Instagram, I believe, has all the information where you can send it, how you can pay, that kind of thing. And a flyer went home in mid-February, yes. And I think our Daughter Dance flyers just went home this week.
Yes. When is the Daughter Dance flyers supposed to be returned to PTA?
The week we get back from school, so the 25th, I believe. And the love lines will do the 23rd. We extended it to the 23rd.
How did we do with Spirit Night?
We made about $400.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty good, considering only a small percentage. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun to see everybody out there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. That's it right now.
So can I say something about field day really quick? So first of all, PTA, thank you. So PTA, tomorrow we have scheduled field day, right? Knowing that the weather is looking bleak for tomorrow, we are going to reschedule it. We're going to work out a date this week to push that out for sometime after spring break, hopefully leading up to FSA, right? To give them kind of an opportunity to get pumped up for that. The reason we did that is, again, too, the weather wasn't looking too good, and the way with those, so we had reserves on like bounce house activities for the kids, and the way that those work is they have a minimum deadline in which you can you have to reschedule before you don't get any of your money back. And PTA supported us with 3 of those obstacles, and the amount of money that they had invested in, we didn't want to see that go away. So we're all on the same page with that.
Yesterday was the 4th grade St. Augustine field trip, which they had beautiful weather on their field trip. So with field day being rescheduled, it hopefully it is going to happen. It's just whether it's happening hopefully towards the end of April, right before testing does begin, as Mr. Knappen said. As I mentioned earlier, there is no school beginning this Friday, March 11th, because that is going to be the students' first day of spring break, which takes place March 11th through March 20th. And as Mr. Knappen said earlier this meeting, we are going to resume back at school with devices charged with chargers on Monday, March 21st, where school does begin promptly at 8:40 a.m. With the tardy bell ringing at 8:45. The week we return, though, we are going to have a long Wednesday on Wednesday, March 23rd. This is to accommodate the high school testing that is taking place that day. So every school in the district is going to be released at a regular school day time, not an early Wednesday release, which happens to be the day 5th grade is going to Kennedy Space Center for their field trip. So they're missing out on that long Wednesday, but they are going to have an amazing time out at Kennedy Space Center. We do have our kindergarten registration event, or Pop into Kindergarten, taking place on April 2nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So anybody who's got a child at a preschool or within the area that is needing to start kindergarten, or any parents that delayed the start of kindergarten for the year, April 2nd here at Endeavor, with some more info from Ms. Zupa.
Just to know, yes, it is a Saturday, so if parents are wondering why it's between 9 to 1 and they're working, it's on a Saturday, so hopefully parents can come and we can get more community out there.
And then the first week of April, as we mentioned earlier, is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, the first portion of the FSA, with 3rd grade taking FSA reading and 4th and 5th grade taking FSA writing. Once again, those are the 2 tests that take the longest to grade by the state. So they still want to release scores in the middle of summer like they normally do. So that's why they are taking their tests in April. And then 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade will continue FSA testing in May, where 4th and 5th will take their reading test. And then 3rd, 4th, and 5th will take their math test. And 5th grade will continue with their science test as well as end of course exams. All while iReady testing is going to take place for kindergarten through 4th grade, end of April, during May, for the other grade levels as well. And that's what we have coming up. We are planning to meet on Wednesday, March 30th, as a compliance piece for our 2nd March SAC meeting, which is going to be an informative meeting, primarily focused on testing and the testing calendar, the testing schedule, the testing environment. If there's any teachers who have SAC grant proposals or who are going to present on their projects, they'll have the opportunity to do so at that meeting as well. So we look forward to having you all join us again after spring break.
Yeah, okay, so listen, as we wrap up here, there's one thing I want to add or just emphasize is kindergarten registration. Formerly like Kindergarten Roundup, you've heard it probably on other school marquees. You know, we're actively registering kindergartners for the 22-23 school year. That sounds weird. But yeah, so we're already enrolling kids for next year, but this is just a formal, informal event where parents can come, come up outside of the regular working day, and it takes, you know, maybe 30 minutes to fill out the enrollment packet and get your kid enrolled. So if your neighbors, family members who live in the zone, you know, please remind them to come up here, because the better we know about how many kindergartners we're going to have, the sooner, or in advance, it just help us out. All right, well, listen, I appreciate it. Anybody have anything for the good of the group? Any questions, comments, concerns?
28.
No? Everybody's ready to go? Everybody ready for spring break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have this, just really quick, we do have the spring book fair taking place the week of Wednesday, March 30th. The last week of March is going to be the spring book fair. So information will be going home to families about that. So you guys get a week to prepare, and then we'll have that spring book fair.
All right, well, with no closing remarks other than mine, I motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor? All right, let's do it. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you. This is a quick meeting. Thank you for being here, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.